Hey everyone, and today I want to go over some problems I have with the bazaar and some ways to fix it, and then I'm going to go over some long-term investments which I've been going through. So basically the first thing, the main big order with the problem with the bazaar, which needs to be fixed and it's been this way since the release, is if you have an order that's not full, like this one, and it's not filled, there's no way to flip the order. This means that if this item gets outclassed and goes up in price a ton, there's no way to flip it. Which means that now, if this was, say, 70,000 items, the only option is to claim them one by one, put them in chests if you don't want to sell them, or if you're trying to sell them, you have to insta-sell them, or sell it as a ton of individual orders, which only works at 2,000 at a time, because that's your max inventory, which sucks. The next thing, if you were to flip something, like say, let's get something that'll flip easily. Let's do 1K. So this will insta-fill. So now I have this oak. I bought it for, wait, what? Oh, it won't insta-fill. I put it for too cheap. What is it? Okay. 1.1K. There you go. So this will insta-fill, and I wasted like 50 coins. So now I paid 1,100 coins. Let's say the price today is, well, actually it's less than this, right? It's 10,058.5. So if I want to sell this, it needs to be 1,058.3, right? So, oh, I actually clicked claim. So let's pretend I didn't do that. Create a buy order, custom price, 1.1K again. So insta-fill, blah, blah, blah. Now I want to flip this, right? So you right click, flip order, and I need to pick 1,058.3, right? 1,058.3. It doesn't let you. It doesn't let you flip it. Why? If this was a bad investment and the price went down, let me flip this order. What if this was 70,000 items? What do I do with that? You know? And especially now that like the bazaar is becoming such a problem with so many people, you need to be able to flip items. The next thing is orders that you've had up for a long time. You only get 28 orders, which was fine when there were only a couple items in the bazaar, but they've started adding more and more and more items that have a ton of little mini collections like this. This is a ton of new items. Same with now the oddities. Like they added all of these crimson essences, which is fine, but then the books, all of these have 5 tiers. There are too many items on the bazaar with not enough orders to sustain them. There's the same amount of players that are flipping items that are sustaining prices. Like the reason there's buy orders on everything is not because someone needs it right now. It's because someone realized, oh, Inferno 2, it's worth 37 mil, and Inferno 1 is 37 mil, so I'm going to flip this, and let's say, what's worth my time? Oh, if this was a normal item and I had infinite orders, I'd say, oh, well, then I'd say probably 60 mil is what this would be worth, right? But because I only have limited orders, it's only worth someone to even bother trying. It's only worth them 367K, which is a problem. So you need way more orders to be allowed in the bazaar. The next thing is you need to be able to refresh orders. If you have a ton of orders now, you need to have a button that not only clicks refresh and will just put it back up for the price it used to be. There should be a +1 or -1 option, which will take the price, like of Oakwood. Let's say I ordered a stack and the price was $9.70, right? Now, there should be a button to, like if this is expired or it's been outclassed, there should be a button, I think just for expired orders, honestly, not for every order, because it would be too much of a pain to go through everything. But if there was an order here, there needs to be a +1 current price or -1 current price for sale offers. And that will take it and it will instantly make it what my order was of 970, and it will instantly make it 979.2. That needs to be part of the bazaar, because right now it is too much of a pain, especially on orders that aren't full. Like say I had an order of 63,000 Oakwood and I want it to be full before I flip it. How it is currently is the only option you have is to cancel it, throw 63,000 items in chests, because you can't put it in your stash because you can't flip it. The only option is putting it in chests and then putting up a new order. But what it should be is if an order gets outclassed, you should be able to up it by 1. The next thing is definitely there needs to be better organization. This tiny little menu is not enough for bazaar orders. There needs to be a couple different orders, like not a page for buy and sell offers. It should be one of just buy orders, then one of just sell orders, and it should sort not by pricing, or by how old they are, but by what category they're from. So it should be like farming items that you have orders on. You'll click on it and they'll go to that. Same thing for enchantments. Enchantments are horrible to look at too because you can't see anything, but that's fine. I don't think they'll be able to fix that. But there should be a, all your bank or there should be a section of your orders that say enchantments, and then it'll have all bank enchantments that you're ordering, all chimera, all whatever, and they should be separated. Because right now, the problem with why books will never equalize is there are not enough players who care enough to do it. Like say bank, for instance. The reason why bank is so cheap for a lot of these is because it's not, or not even bank, just let's pick something that's actually decent. Like say, feather falling. Enchantment, which used to be worth like 300k for the tier 10, now it's worth 10k. The reason that all of these have so low orders, like at 11 coins or 200, 300 coins, is because it's not worth someone to flip a 3,000 coin difference if they only get 14 buy orders and 14 sell orders. Because if you use more than that, it doesn't work because it still only shows the same amount. So if you have more than 14 buy orders, you just can't see them until you cancel some of them. Like if I have used 2 of my rows of buy orders and 2 of my rows of sell orders, and then I order another thing, it will just hide it, even if I haven't used all of my orders, which is dumb. So there definitely needs to be way better organization, because it's getting to the point where these items, like say Legion, this is a very common item. This is such a normal thing used by tons of players, and yet no one can be bothered to put a buy order for above 6 mil for Legion 3 or sell offer for lower than 14 mil, because it's just not worth their time with the way that it's set up right now. So anyway, this is my little rant. They need to fix these things. So the main things is you need to have more orders because of the changes. They need to allow more orders, like at least double, because this is unacceptable right now the way it is. They need to have a refresh button for orders, just to refresh them how they were. And then there also needs to be a +1 or -1 button. You need to be able to flip orders that aren't full. And then you need to be able to organize your orders better. This is not how it should be. They've done a good job organizing things. It should look just like the bazaar, similarly set up, like farming, mining, combat, woods, oddities, and then search. And that's how your order section should look. It should look just like this, and you'll click on farming and you'll see your farming orders. That's how it should be. It's not like this little book that looks like the auction house that you can't tell what's going on, especially if you have more than like 3 orders. Anyway, now we're on to investments. Here we go. Investments. These are not in any particular order. They're not saying they're good or bad. These are just items which you could invest in, which I think have potential, not a ton for some of them, but no real risk for a lot of them. So basically Netherrack, no real risk here. The collection's completely useless. For 1.0, they're trying to add uses to every collection. That doesn't mean this price will go up, but it means there should be a sink for it at some point. So it's worth investing in if you think so. Sand, same thing. I think sand will probably have use at some point. But again, it's pretty cheap, so that means that people aren't gonna, it's not gonna go up in price that much if you have a ton of money. Emerald, pretty good opportunity here. I have some emeralds. Bone, same thing, enchanted bone block. There's no real use there. Gunpowder gunpowder or the enchanted firework rocket, same thing. There's pretty good use, or pretty good opportunity here. Not a huge supply, so it's kind of hard to get. Slime, no uses right now, but it's so high because of the slime minions. I wouldn't invest in it right now. This is just keep in the back of your mind, if slime minions die in price, you might as well buy some of the like slime blocks or slime balls just for that opportunity in the future. But because of how many people use it, I'd say probably not the best. But I was just going through every single collection that's on the bazaar that's easy to buy. Salmon, this is a pretty good investment right now. It's NPC price and it has no use. Same thing with clownfish. The problem is there's huge supplies of these items, so not saying they'll go up. Same with prismarine shards and crystals. These are actually much better investments because it only comes from minions. Clay, no use here as well. There's a huge supply though, but again, NPC price, so no risk there. Same with snow. And birch, that's actually a pretty good investment for the foraging update. It's at NPC price pretty much. It's a little hard to invest in a ton of, and because I have so few orders, I can't invest in it. Because that's another thing. The only way to invest in items is leave the orders in the bazaar, because there's no way to store 70,000 items realistically per order anywhere but the bazaar. And if I have, say, 10 investments, that means that now I only have 4 buy orders left that I can use, which is tiny. So again, they need to add more orders, because otherwise I would invest in something like, say, Birch or say Obsidian for the foraging update, which will come eventually. But because of how few orders you're allowed to have, it's really hard to determine what's worth it, especially just for flipping. But anyway, kind of a rant. I really want them to fix a lot of these changes to the bazaar just to make it more usable for people, and so that prices of, say, the enchantment books actually stabilize, because you don't want to be insta-selling Ferocious Mana 10 or Mana Vampire 10 for 36 mil, which is what someone did like yesterday, because it's not worth someone's time to flip it. On something like, say, there we go. On something like, say, Iron, where it's just one thing, the prices are pretty similar, because it's worth flipping these. It's not too complicated. There's a ton of people that do it. But say you go to, Ferocious. I mean, it's 16 mil versus 360 mil. Like, come on, Hypixel. Or look how many different tiers there are and all the different changes between like 20K. And it's because no one's going to put buy order, like a single person could barely even buy order all of these books. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please, Hypixel admin, see this and work on a quality of life change for the bazaar. It wouldn't be that hard to just add a couple more orders and then change the interface a little bit. The flipping orders button and everything would be amazing. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I really would like that, like the +1 or the refresh orders. It would make it way easier to use and just way nicer. Anyway, thanks.